Run!
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun. Yeah, great sequence. But, yes, but before all of that happens, Stingray is launched with Captain Troy Tempest and phones. And they're in the standby lounge and take the...
Go into action.
Yeah, they sit down in their chairs and they're just taken down to Stingray. What do you think of Stingray?
Stingray's very pretty.
Isn't it? Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's just very kind of classic and, nice clean lines. And like, it's not trying to do too much. It's not super flashy or anything. It's just a good design.
Looks good. Yeah, I agree. It's very pretty.
It doesn't have a bunch of like extra bits that you're like, why would it have that? It's just like,
it's quite unusual though. I feel like for a submarine design, when you consider like, I don't know. To me, it just seems unusual. I mean, it looks great, but yeah.
I mean, it's got. I'm just looking at one of Jack's many
well, we have two options on the shelves next to us. As you know, I have my collection of Jerry Anderson stuff. We have two options there. You have the Vivid Imaginations one from 2001 or something like that, and then the slightly bigger one is the Matchbox 1992 one.
I don't know. I don't think it has too many extra bits it didn't need to have.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just it looks very when you consider what a submarine of the 1960s would have looked like.
I mean,
it's a pretty revolutionary design, I would have said.
Yeah, it's got a lot more color and it's got some extra fins and stuff like that. It's good.
Yep. So Stingray is launched out of the tunnel, out of the ocean tunnel. It's good, isn't it?
It's one way to do it.
I'm just trying to get you to go, yeah, it's good, it's really good, isn't it? I'm not trying to steer you too many ways. You can say if something looks not good.
It's quite good. There are some funny bits to this episode, but they're later on.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep going then. Yeah, so Troy's given his orders to go and explore the ocean trench where Sea Probe was destroyed, and that's pretty much it. And
yes, this is quite similar to Fireball XL5, isn't it?
Yeah, there's definitely some parallels there, thinking about it. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just trying to fast forward through and think about the sort of major bits that happen. They approach the island of Lemoy where X20 lives in his house.
Funny part number one.
Okay.
It goes in on a window and like one of the shutters is closed. And it's this big dramatic moment when it opens and there is, what's his name?
X20.
There you go, X20 there with his binoculars. But you're like, well, surely he was just looking through his binoculars at a
at the shutter.
like it's not like he takes that moment to pick them up. They were already up at his eyes. Like he's already using them.
Well, he might have been looking out the other window, I suppose. But yeah, he is stood right in front of that shutter. Do you think he stood there waiting, like, eventually the wind's going to blow and eventually I'll be able to see what I'm supposed to be looking at? You know?
I mean, I think it's a good shot, and I've never really had this thought before, but it made me laugh when I saw it
I've never had that. I've never thought about it. But, his chandelier starts flashing to signify that Stingray is going by, and, he reports into Titan. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Titan's design. I like that he's got like a little crown that's built into his head.
Yeah, he is an interesting looking guy.
Clearly born royalty.
I find all of that fascinating. The civilization under the sea and the way. Yeah,
I mean, we'll talk about the fish god in a minute.
Okay, well we will. Yes. So anyway, X20 warns Titan that Stingray is on its way, and sure enough. Not long afterwards, Stingray gets attacked.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But before we come to that, what do you think of Troy Tempest, our hero? Just generally throughout the episode as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite sort of just your good guy. He's relatively likable. He's quite, like, dedicated to his job, clearly. And, you don't think too much of him. Just that he's. seems to be a nice guy.
Is he an
and
improvement on Steve Zodiac?
Well, he's not like an enormous sexist person, so yes.
Well,
I think he's what they were trying to go for with Steve Zodiac, but they just really hit their mark a lot better this time.
well, later on in the series, Troy has been known to throw a few tantrums and cause some problems and not necessarily be there. But that makes him more, I don't know, interesting. yeah, he's not like just trying to be perfect all the time, and just what he says goes. Like, he makes mistakes and says the wrong thing, and so he's good. Yeah, I agree. He's a very likable character.
He's not like overly arrogant or anything like that. Like, they kind of got a good balance of different qualities in him.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely say so. So
wakes up and sees Marina.
Yeah.
He's like, why won't you talk to me? He goes all dramatic about it.
Okay, I don't know. I would admit he doesn't have a clue where he is or anything. He wants some answers. I think it's a fair enough question to ask.
When he was asking about his partner.
Yeah, phones.
Yeah, so, it's kind of, I was like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
He's upset because he wants his buddy.
Yeah. But Marina's just sitting there. What do you think of Marina?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting to have a character who can't talk, obviously. That's quite unique in a children's TV show. It is
really unusual. Like, I can't really think of any other characters that are like that, really, that have such a major role in the entire series,
Especially for puppets, because obviously, like, you can't really do nearly as much with their
expressiveness,
their facial features, and, you can only sort of move them so much in so many ways, and so I think that was quite a daunting task.
I would say that's a pretty big challenge.
Went to work that day and was like, "Oh, I think we should have a character who doesn't talk."
Yeah,
like okay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was really, really quite remarkable to attempt something like that with puppets. Yeah, to not have them talk.
Obviously, we're not thinking about the
implied
connotations here.
Yes. Yeah.
The more desirable woman being one who is silent.
Yes. The thing is, well, what I would say about that is that the main characters, I don't think ever reference that as being a good thing. In fact, there are many episodes where they advocate where it's like, we wish you could talk, Marina, and they try various different things to try and help her to talk, and
I also, at least from the episodes I've seen and everything, I don't sort of watch it and feel like this is supposed to be some sort of commentary.
Right.
It's just it was an interesting way to do a character.
There is the odd guest character who goes, "Oh, that must be good." But I feel like, at least from my point of view, the way I see it is they're quickly proven wrong, and proven that she's a perfectly capable character at communicating and getting the job done, and is a fully qualified member of the World Aquanaut Security Patrol. She's not just Troy's bit on the side. So I think yes, the jokes are made, but it's never in a sort of let's just point and laugh at Marina sort of way. It's
okay. What's the other woman's name?
Atlanta.
Okay, and Atlanta's. I wish she was a little bit less catty, obviously.
Well, and then that's part of the thing they're trying to drum up as well. Obviously, is the love triangle.
I like her in the sense that, like, obviously she does talk, but she's quite like smart and.
Well, she has a pretty senior role in managing Marina.
Again, they're not kind of like, oh well, she's just this really annoying person who talks a lot, and we wish women weren't like that. It's really not what they seem to be going for at all with it.
No, not at all. No, it doesn't come up that. I don't, at least from memory, at least I don't think that's the way. I think, I mean, at this point, I think probably Sylvia Anderson had a very and a lot of the at this point. A lot of the writers and directors and everyone that was involved, have been at AP Films for a long time, and Sylvia Anderson was definitely having more involvement in the characterization and just, everyone kind of knew how to work with each other at this point and knew what they were trying to get out of it. So that's why I think just all elements of it really blend together well, and the way it's written is just there's no weird stuff that there are a few odd decisions made during the series. We were not introduced to Oink yet. Do you know who Oink is?
No. Oink
is Marina's pet seal.
Oh.
Who goes oink, and that's all it does is go oink. Okay. It appears for a few episodes, causes a little bit of mischief, but not really that much, and then disappears a few episodes later when they realise there was nothing to do with it.
That she adopts during the course of the show,
yes.
Or one that finds her?
No. So in the episode Sea of Oil, which is I think the third episode in production order at least, this Oink just turns up. There's a bomb on the side of Stingray, and it just picks it up and saves them. And so they're like, sure, let's adopt Oink. And as I say, he appears for a couple more episodes and then disappears again when they realised. Inevitably, the writers realised we can't really do much with a seal called Oink that only says Oink.
That's funny.
So there you go. Anyway, Oink doesn't appear in this episode, at least. I can imagine they were. Maybe they did that to try and give Marina a little bit more to do, but I honestly couldn't tell you why they came up with that character, but they got rid of it again. It kind of follows along the line of things like Mitch the Monkey in Supercar and Zuni and Fireball XL5. Yeah. It's kind of, I think, supposed to be for merchandising purposes more than anything else. But yeah, anyway, that was a Oink, who isn't even in this episode. Yeah, but Troy wakes up in Titanica, in the throne room of Titan, and it is quickly made apparent to him that he is under the water. And why was Troy put on trial?
I honestly don't know.
It's an odd one. It's never really put forward. Basically, they're testing to see whether he is a threat to them and whether he has, whether he's a nice guy, basically, and whether he meets the approval of Typhel, the fish god.
Who's a god that they... I know, it's funny. Titan says, you're something like, your luck hasn't run out yet, or something like that, when the Marine minute clock is ticking away. But I thought it was so funny. He's supposed to be like a god, which generally is like all knowing. That's surely why they're making this life or death decision, or leaving it up to a fish. And yet they're also talking about luck. Like, you're so lucky this fish hasn't turned away from you yet.
Yeah.
And
it's like there is no judgment in it at all. No. It's just a fish,
So Troy's like all sweaty, and it's like, I know his life's on the line, but like...
but really? You're taking this that seriously? That you're breaking out in a sweat? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's a fish.
Yeah. But anyway, meanwhile, while all this is going on, obviously Stingray's been attacked and is offline, and Marineville don't know what's going on. What does Commander Shaw decide they're going to do?
Let's just bomb everything.
Yeah.
Send in the missiles.
Because of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, that's what they're going to do.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. Atlanta says, well, what if Troy phones are still alive? Commander Shaw just said, sorry, tough job. It's just what you got to deal with. It's just a way of showing, like, this is a serious organization.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's all just character development,
We're all very
really.
glad the missiles didn't get sent off.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, that's while the trials are all still going on, and eventually Typhel, the fish... what I don't understand is why... why does Titan consider Typhel a fish to be a god? Like, I would have thought that as clearly intelligent beings, why do they consider this fish to be their god? I don't know. It seems a bit strange. I would love to read the Typhel Bible or whatever it is that tells the story of how Typhel I don't know, created life in Titanica or whatever the crazy story is supposed to be. But anyway, Typhoid turns away from Troy, and that's